There will be a number of new changes in 2015 relating to safety. The Mate Center, in conjunction with Oceaneering International and a number of other industry representatives, are really stepping up the safety expectations from the teams. The safety inspection protocol will be pretty much similar to what we had in 2014. We'll have the red flag indicate that they're ready for their first inspection. An inspector will show up, go through there, and if any problems are found, they'll go ahead and give the team a yellow flag and let the inspectors know that once those problems are fixed, they're ready for the next inspection. If a team passes their safety inspection, they will be given a green flag, and the flag must accompany the ROV anywhere it goes, to the pool, setup and testing, to engineering presentations, everywhere. We'll actually be using green and red and yellow index cards, and the green cards will have company-specific information printed on them. Let's talk about the observation program. Now, this has been implemented after consultation with safety inspectors from Oceaneering International. In the past, companies were observed at both ends of the safety spectrum, some being very safe and others being very unsafe. A lot of practices were observed that the safety inspectors wished that they could go out and award points and subtract points for. Since there were requests for the ability to award points for safe practices observed, hand out warnings where necessary, and deduct points for outright unsafe practices, this observation program came about. We saw too many teams were not incorporating safe work practices. A lot of people talk safety in name and had their little safety procedures, but in reality, many of them were not following it. In their rush to get a working ROV, too many teams were just observed operating with a get it working at any cost attitude. And that's not a safe procedure. Teams need to think safety, act safety, be safe in everything they do. Well, program summary, who? Any mate judge, safety officer, or mate staff member can award or deduct safety points. The what is concerns about the company's utilization of proper personal protective equipment, operation, or housekeeping. Many times, the housekeeping is a huge issue of safety. Trip hazards, things are unpacked without paying attention to how things are unpacked, packing material strewn all over the work area, generally creating an unsafe work environment. There were observations of mentors performing work on the ROVs. This is a safety issue because if a mentor is working on an ROV, it is very possible that the company members can then go ahead and do something unsafe because they are obviously not able to work on their own piece of equipment. And there will be questions that may be traced to topics covered in the Oceaneering HSE handbook. When and where? At any time, any place in the competition venue. Why? Well, we pretty much covered that on the previous page. Okay, now let's talk about the how. Any mate, judge, safety officer, or staff member may approach a team upon the observation of both safe and unsafe practices. The observer will discuss with the team what was observed. The observer will also record their observations on a card for later recording. And the observer will ask the company president to acknowledge the discussion and points. Observations can result in positive, negative, or neutral. Neutral is just considered a warning as far as points awarded or subtracted to the company. And these observations are not open to debate. There is no debating safety. Obviously, if an observer has a concern, it's a safety problem. Another item new in 2015 is an opportunity for teams to receive additional points towards their safety award is a job site safety analysis. JSA is an industry standard documentation that describes your job tasks in a step-by-step fashion, identifies associated hazards at each step, outlines proper hazard controls to minimize the risk of injury or illness to the individuals performing that task. These are extensively used by the offshore industry and are industry standard documentation. There's information inside the technical specifications with additional links as to where you find information on how to complete and create a JSA. All this goes into something, and that's the HSE Awards, the Health, Safety, and Environmental Awards. And Oceaneering International will be awarding the HSE Awards at the international competition. And the purpose of this award is to emphasize the MAKE competition's commitment to safety and a safe work environment. Included in the HSE Award will be points from the safety inspection, the observation program, and the JSA document. We'll talk a little bit about safety notes. One big issue we saw was company workstation housekeeping. This will be a major focus in 2015. Teams have taken advantage of that space and have created serious safety hazards while working on their ROV and unpacking. The company workstation areas should be policed by company members to eliminate any hazards. Packing material and other items should not be left in walkways, creating hazards. Tethers should also be watched. Company workstations are not to be used as gathering areas, place for friends and family to hang out. This again creates too many people, difficult to move around, and just generally creates an unsafe atmosphere. If you want to party, you want to hang out with your friends or family, take it outside of the workstation area. These workstation areas are for working. Since there is limited space around each workstation, those at the workstation should be limited to company members working on the ROV. Mentors and advisors have no place around a workstation. Any questions that a company may have for a mentor or advisor can be taken to that person. Then the company member returns to the workstation with the answer or answers.